What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, we want to discuss Luke Skywalker today because everyone's talking about him since the last episode of The Mandalorian. It's just been freaking bananas. And there's been a lot of speculation about where do we go from here. All right, I've spent the better part of this morning looking at reaction videos and compilation of reaction videos, and it's glorious. And it goes to show you that positive feedback can be just as entertaining as negative feedback, because a lot of these videos we had after The Force Awakens and of course The Last Jedi, where we were all reacting to it in a certain way, and it was all just, so much of it was just terrible, the feedback and everything. And of course, the media went on to attack the fans. But this time, it's a whole lot of positivity. It's a whole lot of wonderment and astonishment. Nobody really thought they'd be able to pull it off with that last episode, and they did. So, like I said, the question comes up: where do we go from here? And it's a glorious thing. It's a glorious thing to see people debating the way we used to, arguing the way we used to, about Star Wars, not about, other petty things, about who's a racist and who's misogynist and, homophobe and all that stuff. This is about the actual story and what's going on with the story, and, how well it gels with the way, it should, with canon and legends and, all of that stuff. So it's a more acceptable argument to me. All right, but it's still out there. Nevertheless, a lot of people are wondering, where do we go from here? And in the middle of that, we have some rumor that's out there now talking about there might be a possibility of a Luke Skywalker series coming out. I mean, it's kind of crazy because they've been throwing series out to everybody else. It's a wonder that no one has thought about this before now, but here it is. All right, so you got this rumor out here, and it's being said that Lucasfilm and Disney Plus are in the early stages of developing a Luke Skywalker series set around the time and era of The Mandalorian. Having been kept a secret in The Mandalorian second season finale, Mark Hamill surprised fans with a de-aged look of the character. By the way, if they are going to go forward, I would suggest they get in touch with whoever does those deep fakes, because it is light years better than what they did in The Mandalorian. Keeping in mind, like I said, I accept what they did in The Mandalorian. As an old sci-fi head, I'm used to cheesy special effects. It doesn't take me out of it at all. It's like a lot of people are spoiled now to this new age of advanced technology. Everyone wants a little tweak here. You want, a little, extra there and everything. I mean, I know what they're doing. I know what they're trying to do. And for the sake of the story, if I'm invested enough in it, I accept it. All right. So I was cool with it. But when I see what they're capable of with that deep fake stuff, go with that. You know what I mean? If I was Disney Lucasfilm, I would get in touch with them people over there. All right. So anyway, let's see. No word on who is set to direct or produce, but as we said, this project is in early development. For all these reports, it's important to stress that in development means teams connected to Lucasfilm are prepping and writing the following projects. It does not guarantee they will all make it to air. What's funny when you think about it is that it is a very selective process. You wouldn't know it by what we've been getting with Star Wars all this time, especially with all the little hiccups and goofs and, blunders that they've been doing. But there actually is a large team of people who were involved in the creative process, and you got to sell this stuff. That's why it was always like mind blowing to me that some of the trash that we got, like how does it get from all of these different stages onto the screen, and it's just so wrong. It's like how at every stage somebody said, yeah, send that through, yeah, send that through, send that through. Nobody said, nah, that's trash, send it back. But that's what we're dealing with here. So in development doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to see the light of day. So all of those titles that Kathleen Kennedy was announcing last week, who knows if they'll ever come out. All she was doing was trying to please the investors and all that stuff. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But the Luke Skywalker thing, it's funny because I've said for a long time that the worst thing that Disney Lucasfilm ever did was declare that they were going to end the Skywalker saga. That was arrogant, and it was foolish to do that because they had just bought the property. So everyone was looking forward to the future. What are we going to see? And of course, a lot of people know that they had further adventures in the novels and everything. There was so much potential There was so much material to look into before you abruptly say, this is the end of the Skywalker saga. We want no more Jedi. We want no more Siths. We know, it was crazy. It's like, you just picked it up, and you mean to tell me that's all? You don't see any more possibility in that. So I knew that was a mistake. So here you have it, years later, and you have this game changer, or what could be a game changer, in The Mandalorian, where everyone now is seeing this whole new wave of possibility. And Disney Lucasfilm, no matter what they say, they have to be seeing the reaction from the fans. This is what we always wanted. It's not complicated. You have those minority of people out there who are like, oh, we're sick of the Skywalkers. We want to see something different from the Skywalkers. I get that, but not when there's just still so much story to tell. You know what I mean? You're closing the book on a lot of stories. That doesn't mean that you can't explore other stories. I mean, we were all drawn to The Mandalorian because it was something that was different. After that first episode, a lot of us were like, yeah, we can rock with this. It just so happens that Grogu was introduced and the whole Jedi factor came into it once again. But what really reeled us in was that the world felt like Star Wars. You could tell it was part of that same reality, part of that same world and galaxy. So, we were there, but like I said, it was foolish to go on and try to end the Skywalker saga. But that's what they did. They sold box sets talking about witness the end of the Skywalker saga. You had some jackass decide that they were going to make Rey a Skywalker. None of that made any sense. So now we're stuck with this dilemma where you see that the people still hunger, for Luke. They still hunger for George Lucas's vision. If they could get Han Solo and Princess Leia right, we would want to see all of that stuff again. We would want to see new adventures. It's just a question of how well they would be able to execute it. But of course, you have to deal with the fact now that you have that trash Nyquil trilogy out there that has to connect with this. But does it have to connect is the question, because a lot of people are turned off by that fact that no matter how epic you make Luke, he's still going to turn into the Last Jedi Luke. And that turns a lot of people off, including myself, because what I saw in that last episode of The Mandalorian, that dude does not turn into that dude by any stretch of the imagination. It's just wrong. And we knew it was wrong when the movie dropped. So now you got to deal with it. And the question is, do they have the balls to deal with it? Are they going to shut this thing down? I'm talking about the so-called sequel trilogy. It cannot exist. It must end. It must be abolished. It was a dismal, utter failure. And I'm sorry if someone has to take egg on their face, but it is what it is. And we've been talking about this for years. So you see all of these people now who are coming back. And Star Wars fans, I guess we exist in different tiers, to a degree. You have the ones who believe that any Star Wars is good Star Wars and they're going to cheer it no matter what, no matter where you take them. Their minds are going to be open to it. Then there are going to be others who are a little bit more critical, who want to see certain things satisfied. Then there are others who also, feel very strongly, they hold it to a certain standard. But then at the top, you have the Star Wars, what I call the Star Wars scholars, who are not going to give you a pass for anything at all. And, excuse me, they're always going to be vocal. They're always going to, be able to point out the inconsistencies and where you went off the tracks. I would just wish that they wouldn't, all due respect to our Star Wars scholars and stuff like that. It's like, I would just suggest that you don't so much attack and judge too harshly the ones on the lower tiers. A lot of times we have to come up, because I remember with The Force Awakens, I was on board, everything was cool with me, although I did not like the way that they killed Han. I don't like that they saved Luke to the very end and you didn't get to see him and he didn't get to say anything, but I was still looking forward to the next chapter. Now, there are some people who, as soon as they saw The Force Awakens, it was a wrap. They were done. They were out, and all due respect to those people, they saw it right away. But now you have a lot of people who have enjoyed The Mandalorian. We got our socks knocked off by what happened with Luke Skywalker and everything. So there's a degree of satisfaction, that's going on there. Now if you're at the top, with your Star Wars knowledge and that certain things are not lining up and you're not cool with it, then you speak on it. You make your videos about it. You try to educate people. OG Star Wars, she always has a coffee chat. She's always talking about, the lore and the legends and stuff like that. People who want to dive into it, that resource is there. Lord Callus, my brother from the Dark Council, He does excellent lore videos. You know, he's the best around. You know, so that education is there for us. You know, but the infighting and stuff at this point, you know, it's healthy, but sometimes it could get just a little bit too much. It could, you know, a little off-putting. Like, we're trying to get Star Wars to a point where it's more honest and it's more fulfilling for all of us. You know, we want the writing to be on point. We want the storytelling to be on point. And that's what we're working towards. We just don't want it to be somebody's cash grab, you know, and you know, free of any inspiration whatsoever. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for good, entertaining, exciting, romantic, philosophical Star Wars. That's what we're looking for. So, you know, that's what I hope to see. You know, now with the Luke Skywalker thing, I would want to see that, and I believe that it's far past time. I mean, that's one of the original beefs I had with the prequels. You know, as much as I came to love the prequels in the beginning, I was pissed off because I wanted a direct sequel back then. I felt like time is wasting. You know, we have Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, they were all still in their prime. I'm like, what are y'all waiting for? You're just letting these decades go by, you know, and these guys are still here. It's like, why aren't we doing something with this? There's clearly more stories to tell. You know, I saw the novels were rolling out and stuff. So that's the only problem I had with the prequels. I just wanted them to be sequels, direct sequels right away. Because like George Lucas said, I'll be out in a minute. Like George Lucas said, it takes 10 years to do the better part of a trilogy. So there was a decade down right there, you know. So I was like, okay, well, obviously they're not going to do it. So like I said, that kind of put me off in the beginning. But now you have an opportunity to do this. You have an opportunity to revisit these characters and do these stories, and you can do them justice, but you just have to make it known that you're starting over again. You know, those sequels, the so-called sequels, they don't fit. They don't work. You know, and it's not unheard of that that, you know, movie studios would do this. You know, owners of a property, they would just start over again. You know, let's just do it. Take a deep breath, hire some people, you know, have them go to the conventions, like I said, have them get into some of these websites and, you know, have conferences with people who are super fans who know these things and take it all into consideration, mix it all up, you know, and see what you can come up with. But you have to serve these characters, as Kathleen Kennedy once lied that she was going to do, serve to protect these characters. You know, let's start from there again. You know, and if she can't do it and she's proved that she can't, then go on, get some people who are truly committed to this, people who truly love these characters and share the passion of the fans because they are of the fans. So that would be the only thing. You know, if you're going to go on and tackle, you know, Luke Skywalker again and, you know, by extension, I would imagine Han and Leia, just know what you're doing. You know, be passionate about it, be true to it, be honest to it, love it, you know, and let's go from there. Let's just start right there. All right, so that's how I feel about that. The possibility of actually doing a Luke Skywalker series when he was in his prime. You know, what do you guys think? You know, do you think that they could do this? Do you think that they could go forward with the digital clones or the de-aging or the deep fake? Or, you know, are you that person who believes that they should just go out and get Sebastian Stan or some other actor who could do the character justice? I'm open to all of that as long as they could do it right, as long as they could do it honestly. And, you know, they could sell it. They could honestly, they really could. They could do it if they just commit to it. So, yeah. So what do you guys think? You can get in the comment section and let me know. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe as always. And catch me on Twitter. The link will be in the description below. All right, guys. I will catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.